dírí beag is mise Eithne Verling stúrthóir Museum Carn na Gaillimhe, agus tabhaidín seoinniuh ag breanú taspántas sách nua tágainn an teitl atá na Monument. My name is Eithne Verling. I'm director of the Galway City Museum, and we're here today to talk about an exhibition that was set up in 2020. Galway 2020 is part of the Galway 2020 European Capital of Culture. The exhibition was co-curated with my friend and colleague Sybil Curley, who's with us here in the museum today. And we're just going to talk a little bit about the genesis of the exhibition, about the expression of the exhibition, the ambition of the exhibition, and what was involved in putting it all together.
Hi Eithne, it's great to be here today. I just want to ask you to get the ball rolling. The first question, you were the person who had the initial idea, the initial concept, which was large stone monuments on small islands. Where did that concept come from?
Well, I suppose looking back, I was involved in the first bid book one when we were creating that for the application to for the competition for European Capital of Culture. Looking through the initial, I suppose, ideas that were proposed, I felt that maybe we needed a little more cultural heritage included. Yeah. And for many, many years, I suppose, living in Connemara and having spent some of my time growing up in Connemara, looking out at the Aran Islands and visiting them, I was always very interested in the forts on the Aran Islands, particularly Duningasa, and looking at that juxtaposition of large monuments on small islands. And we had John Waddell, a Professor Emeritus from the University here in Galway, speaking to us about the map, our wonderful map, which turns literally the map on its side and puts Ireland at the centre of Europe rather than at the periphery. And I think we really loved that idea. And that facilitated the trade routes, and that, I suppose, speaks to the forts on the islands, and they're largely addressing the sea or very close to the sea. So I suppose they were great lookouts as well, because there was a lot of trade passing up and down on the great Atlantic superhighway that went from the coast of Africa up to Iceland. I think that was what we were really bowled over by that, weren't we? The sophistication of the material that came out of the Duningasa, and that reflected this great trade that was going on.
I can't help but think, if you were in a boat travelling past Duningasa and you looked up, the monumentality of these structures, I think Colm Hogan's drone shots show how the pieces are embedded within the landscape, how they're like architectural drawings in terms of the roundness of them, the outer walls, the concentric circles. They show how geometric they are, how different they are in the landscape. Actually, migration was one of the strands of European Capital of Culture, and it was the idea that people brought information, brought materials, brought different things to different places, and it just spun out from there. From a very strong concept, it just spun out in terms of a visual language, the archaeology, the architecture, the culture, the design, the visual language of different islands and how they respond to these monuments today and what these monuments mean to them.